All right, we are live. Hey folks, time for a channel update. Let you know what's going on here at El Casa Sear and on the Sunday. And I just wanted to share with you a few things. Doing a live stream, of course, and we're gonna split this up into a couple of parts. Talk about the recent uploads. We're going to do a little bit of Q&As and talk more on the business side of things, let you know what's going on here. So, just down here, and I just discovered something new the other day. So when you're doing a live stream on using the mobile app on the smartphone, you can monitor your events on the laptop, let's say, for example, so like the live control room, so that when there's chat messages, I always keep missing them because I'm focusing on other stuff, but now I can see the chats afterwards. But anyway, so this morning, me and the dog, we went out for a little stroll, and I was just able to write a few things down. So we're going to do 3 sections. One of them was the recent video that I uploaded not too long ago, which is the winter project, which is the knife handle carving. That is going to be an ongoing project. We did part 1. Haven't shown too much of it right now because I've been spending a few minutes here, a few minutes there. But right now, I had ordered a few knife blanks from Mora. I ordered I believe a number 1 and a number 2 carbon steel, and I started my first drilling and gluing the blank inside the handle, and now I'm starting to form the handle. So the wooden block that you saw in the video, and now it looks somewhat like an oval now. So it's gonna slowly form into a knife. I don't know if I'm gonna do too much on it. I did create the web post on the website, and I'll add to that. This was more of a how not to make a knife handle after watching a few videos on YouTube and a few forum posts. So we'll see how that works out. I am learning quite a few things. There was a question there on the video though from Mark about what you're gonna do for bolsters. And originally I wasn't gonna do anything because I assumed that my drilling skills would be so awesome that I wouldn't need to. But looking at the work from this first one, I'm gonna have to figure out a bolster. So I was looking at what a few people are doing, and I really like the idea of casting pewter on top of it to hide any of the mistakes. So I'll be getting one of those little crucibles, and I'll be smelting or molten pewter at some point here. So anyway, we got the chat going on today. Folks doing a live stream, but just wanted to mention that about the other video. The other one that I did here, I did finish the Vivo Active 3 videos a little while ago, and that just starting to now ramp up in terms of views and stuff. It's funny that the Forerunner 35 hasn't quite picked up yet. So I did that I think before Christmas, and I thought by now things would have picked up, but it's one of these things when you do these tutorials, you're trying to figure out which watch or GPS device will be the one that people will buy or, you know, look up. So it's be interesting. It's like, you know, play. Okay, so let's move on to Q&As. So this is some of the questions that have been popping up on the site or on from the videos. Just wanted to answer, go back for some of them. One of them was the recommendation for batteries when you use a Garmin handheld, such as MAP 62 or 64. So what kind of batteries do I use? So I use basic Duracell AA's. If I do, I'm just waving here to get some light. I have one of these automatic timers in the back, so you have to wave your hand to turn on. Anyway, point is, batteries. I use regular Duracell AA's. You get enough, for example, with the 62 or the 64 that the video, the question was asked. Those things are rated for a good 20 somewhat hours on a pair of AA's, and depending on what you do with the backlight settings and all the other features, you can get quite a bit of hours from that. And just regular AA's will do the trick. I had at one point start to do this whole rechargeable system to kind of refresh batteries, and you know what? Too much of a hassle. You can get these batteries, regular Duracells, anywhere, corner store, gas station when you're going out. So just carry an extra set, and you should be fine. The other question was, can you add languages to a Vivo Active 3 or by extension some of the more recent Garmin handhelds? So typically, so what happened here, I knew exactly what happened here. So Buddy bought a used Garmin, and he only sees Japanese and English for the language. And I think he was from Europe somewhere, so he needs one of the European languages. It wasn't quite there. So what happens is that when you plug in your Garmin device into the USB drive, it shows up, the Garmin drive shows up on your computer. You can open that up and you can access the internal memory of it. And you'll see a lot of the compiled files. And a lot of them, you'll see a bunch of folders. And one of them you'll see is the languages folder. So all the languages by default should show up as a file, and then that's how you can change the language on your watch. So probably what happened here is that the person did that and got rid of a bunch of files that you didn't need the languages and just kept English and Japanese, for example. So the way to get rid of that is you basically update the firmware or kind of do like a restore, and then the binary will restore all those language files. So it's not complicated. It's not like you can add languages. It's one of those default things. So anyway, let's see, the beer for this live stream update is a Juicy Double IPA. All right, so questions, Q&As. All right, another question was on the website or from the videos was missing icons or functions on the Garmin inReach Explorer Plus or SE Plus. One of them was, what was it, send interval or interval tracking. So, and apparently Garmin support indicated that you had to activate to see certain functions. I don't think that's entirely correct. If there are functions missing, it's usually a sign of firmware not being updated, or if there happens to be a new feature that in question that you're asking about. But the send interval feature on your inReach, that's standard. You should see that regardless if it's activated or not. And besides, if you're not activated, you wouldn't see it anyway. Well, no, I guess now that you can bypass that, but still, you should be able to see that regardless. So again, that's one of these things, whether or not it was actually missing or a firmware update or anything like that. Unlike the previous question, inReach is pretty much clamped down. You can't just go in and fiddle with some of the files. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So those were the questions that were posted on the videos. And we're going to move over to the third part of this stream, which is the business side of things. So as you are probably aware, I'm at the house. And I wasn't traveling this past week, had to stay home. My wife had to do a business trip, so I had to stay here, take care of the little one here. We don't have family here locally. We do have a few friends, but we don't want to burden them with, you know, taking care of the little one and the dog and all that stuff. So it's mostly just the two of us. And with this job, with this current project that I'm on here, I have to travel to Toronto every week. So in fact, once I'm done this video, I'll be doing my packing. So I'll be jumping on the plane on Monday, coming back on Thursday. So I've been doing that since December. Probably going to be doing that at least to the end of March. I'm hoping to get put on another project so that I can stay local. And then that will allow me to spend some time to think about what I want to do with the Avoiding Chores, the business side of things. Because there was a lot of changes in the YouTube sphere, and I've made some changes back in November about switching up how I publish videos and what I'm trying to focus on. And if you watched the year-end update I did a couple weeks ago, I did it in the truck. Not a great video, kind of poor quality, because I figured, oh, I'll just do a live stream as I'm driving. This should be awesome. Didn't come out nice at all. So like I was saying in that video though, a lot of my inventory, a lot of the how-tos that had a very long shelf life, they're all starting to drop off. So one of the things I want to do is replenish the inventory and try to play catch up here. And that's why you see me dumping Forerunner 35s and then Vivo Active 3s, and then the plan is to get probably another handheld Garmin to try to replenish that. But I'm actually a little disappointed that Garmin didn't really announce anything more from the CES back in January. They only really announced 2 new products, which was the Forerunner 645, which to me looks as close as Garmin's gonna get to like an Apple Watch, because they have something called Garmin Pay and you can put music on it, whatever. And an $800 sight, laser sight for archery. I forget the name, what it's called. I think it starts with an X. Yeah, we'll see how that works. Maybe they're switching up their release schedules, but usually we'll see something come out March, May kind of deal, and then a little bit more in the fall. So I don't know if they're slowing things down, because the last few years they were coming out with all sorts of iterations of the same product. So maybe it's a good thing. I'm pretty curious to see what they're going to do in the handhelds. That is a space that hasn't changed a lot. And eTrex 20 videos are still doing really good, and they're like, that's like 5-year-old videos here. But I do like to try to get a new Oregon GPS, try to get some more updated videos on that. So we'll see what happens. You know, hopefully I can get a few products. I went to, while I was in Toronto because of work, I switched up my travel schedule to stay on the Friday so I can go to the Outdoor Adventure Show in Toronto. So I don't know if you remember last year. Oh, hang on, I gotta wait. There we go. I had to go to Toronto. Well, I had to go. I decided to go to the Outdoor Adventure Show last year to see, try to help me focus what I wanted to do with the avoiding chores thing. So I decided to go again this year because I'm going down every week, so might as well go. A little disappointed. It was a good show, good amount of vendors. I think they're trying to cater a little bit more to an older crowd. A lot of the outfitters, outdoor outfitters that were there the last year weren't there this year. So because I wanted to go and talk to these guys to see what I could do. So one of the things I was trying to do the last couple of years is try to diversify what I've been doing on YouTube and do other things. So, you know, ebook, iPhone app, speaking engagements, doing all sorts of other stuff. So because as you know, with all the changes on YouTube, you know, got to find something else. So the idea here is try to figure out how I can convert what the content that works on YouTube, try to punt that into something else. So that's why I created the microsite gps.training. So I just try to focus, try to niche the content into there while still maintaining the usual stuff on avoiding chores. So basically all the people I wanted to see if stuff I would make could help them out a bit, but they weren't there. So I ended up spending a little bit of money on some products and came back. So there you go. The other thing that I did this week, actually this past Friday, is I went to the CBC Roundtable on production and rights, or development and rights. So back in July, I mentioned in a previous update that I got invited along with a few other people in the Maritimes to learn about CBC's digital endeavors. So CBC, for those in the States watching, that's the equivalent to NPR or BBC. So this is Canada's Canadian broadcaster. So they're doing their digital. So if you were to go on their Facebook, their Instagram, you'll see cooking, lifestyle, that kind of stuff, comedy, and you see a few faces that came up from that July thing. So I was actually kind of interested to see, I don't know why I got on that list, but just see what's going on. I think a lot of the stuff that I do is more on the educational side, and then with the hiking stuff, is pretty much hyper-local. But as I mentioned before, it's always kind of hard to try to continue that, because the strategy of trying to grow the channel before, which was always influencer marketing tactics, I'm not down with that anymore. So I want to try to do something different, try to build better relationships, or building something that people say, oh, call Jim and see if you can do something for us or that kind of stuff. So I went to the CBC Roundtable, and it was more of a deep dive as to how to pitch to CBC and what type of shows they're doing and what the expectations for their documentaries, scripted, unscripted, that kind of stuff. Realizing that my content probably doesn't fit the main stuff, but they do have something called curioca, which is a learning education website, and that could be possibly an avenue for me. Don't know, not now, maybe not later. So that's why I was kind of wanting to go to the outdoor show to try to get a feel as to, okay, how can I convert my content over to in a format? Is it video? Is it books? Is it PDFs? Like, what is it? And what exactly was the level of content? So I like to do less influencer stuff and more authority kind of stuff. So that's why, so trying to figure that out. Almost, I don't know, whatever. The other thing is how's the Amazon thing going? So back at the end of November, I joined the Amazon short video program. So if you go to Amazon.com and go, for example, the Garmin Vivo Active 3, if you were to go to the product page and scroll down, and you get the, when you scroll down, you'll get kind of like the catalog, manufacturer catalog kind of description with their marketing flyer section. Right below that and right before the reviews, there's a section called short videos, and you'll see some of my stuff there. It doesn't appear on all products, and it's pretty random which ones do show up, but I do have them in a few places here and there. So I've been doing that since November. Uploaded about 50 something videos so far. Probably add a little bit more. And I got a little over 15,000 views generated from that. I do have a follow-up with them afterwards to get the payment thing kind of set up. I think I hit a threshold that I need to check out. So we'll see if it's worthwhile doing stuff there. I have found that videos that are kind of going on the downtrend on the YouTube, when I put them on, if they still sell the product on Amazon, when I put them there, I'm still able to generate some views there. So is it another way to extend the life of the videos? Well, it could be it. So, all right, so my life right now has been travel. So Sunday night, pack, laundry, pack, Monday morning, get up, go to the airport, fly out to Toronto, do 10, 11-hour days, fly back Thursday night. Friday, do a little bit more work here locally, work at home kind of deal, and then take care of the little one because I need to give a break to the missus, and sleep and drink some beer and try to not think too hard about stuff. And that unfortunately has been the routine, so I haven't been able to really spend a lot of time on figuring out what kind of videos I wanted to do other than the GPS tutorials. I know there was a couple topics I've been kind of promising for the last little while, but I'll be quite honest with you, I've been just, at least for the hopefully next month, hopefully back in April, May, things can get to normally, but I'm having a hard time. I'm bringing all the gear with me when I'm on the road, but I'm under the sheets around like 9 o'clock, and I am out. I'm done for the day. So it's been kind of hard doing this traveling and trying to maintain the content. There's so many other things that I want to keep working on. One of the things is the podcast. We haven't done an episode in a little while, and I do want to do something with that. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, but I haven't been producing a lot of podcasts, so I like to do that. The other thing I like to do is look at the newsletter. Right? I don't know if you've signed up to the Avoiding Chores newsletter, but there is a newsletter. Haven't sent anything in quite a while. I like to take a couple hours and build one out, but again, it's one of those things where trying to sit in front of the computer, try to work on this has been a little difficult. So I'm hoping things are going to change a little bit, and I wrote my little notes for this live stream. This is so funny here on a piece of Ride and Rain paper, but I just noticed on the other side was a solo hammock kit. This was a while ago here. So my solo hammock gear. Gadget bin and gear bins. Famous 5. Hi, Jim, from the south of France. Thanks for the videos. Cheers, Garrett. Thanks a lot, buddy. Garrett, thanks a lot for watching and commenting. Good thing to... I'm glad that the videos have been helpful. Yeah, so in terms of hopefully when things... Well, the nor'easter this past weekend in New England that kind of tore up a strip in New England. It was mostly rain for us on not rain, wind on Saturday, Friday night going into Saturday, and I had wanted to do this update on Saturday outside, but it was a little breezy. It was still not as bad today, but I can't get over how little of winter we've had this year. There is no snow at all. Temperatures are above 0. February is usually like minus 15 Celsius. This is the best time to get out to do snow activities. Nothing. There's some lilac trees in front here. They're starting to bud. I see some green. It's incredible. I've never been. This is the first time I've seen this. So some say we're potentially 20 days earlier. I don't know what the groundhog said a couple weeks ago, but this ain't good. Not a lot of snow. There's going to be a dry. It's going to be a dry summer. Oh, there. Motion active. There's a motion sensor behind me that turns on the kitchen light. If you wanted to know. Anyway. That's about it. I think that's went through quite a bit of stuff. Let me know what's going on here. Oh, another comment here. Econo Challenge. From Ontario. That's right. He says here, I feel your pain. We only have so much time in the day. We have to prioritize. You can't do everything you want to do. So true. So true. And I'm hoping the plans are for this year. We got a couple camping outings. We're hoping to get some time to get out to Baxter State Park in Maine, where Katahdin is, the terminus of the Appalachian Trail. Probably won't do the mountain, bringing the kids. So like to spend a few days there. In June, the missus and the girls are doing a trip to Paris. So I'll have some extra time with the kids, the 2- and 4-legged kids. And I need to find a place to go. I'm thinking this could be a good chance to take out the Kodiak tent and take that out, and then hopefully over the summer try to get a few long weekends in and use the Kodiak tent. I don't know if you've seen that back in July. I'm looking forward to it. Garrett from south of France says here it's the opposite in terms of weather. Biggest snow in 30 years, broken trees everywhere from the weight of snow. That is the worst. We're talking about that in terms of usually I had bought a snowblower this fall, back in end of November. Bought a snowblower, nice little Husqvarna, heated handlebars and lights and all this stuff, and used it twice. And the second time, very dubious why I was taking that out. So I think I feel maybe it was a good luck charm, but I just spent money on a snowblower that I didn't need this year, but I'm glad that I have it because we are due for another dump of snow. This nor'easter that came by this past weekend probably could have been it. The fact that it passed and we totally got on the other side of the system. I am leery. Maybe in the next 2 weeks. That is pretty much, the end of it for us in terms of getting big snow events out here. And even if it does snow by mid-March, we get a bit of snow, there's no point shoveling it because temperatures go up, things melt pretty fast, and the snow is very wet, very humid, full of moisture, perfect snowman snow. It's not the dry stuff. Heart attack snow, they call that too. So, but man, I don't know. Wouldn't mind some snow. All right, folks. I think I'm just starting to ramble. I don't have anything else I want to prepare. Thanks for those who are watching the live stream. And I believe there's a new feature that for those who've commented within the stream, your comments will be saved for people to watch the replay, because I know there's a few comments that pop out. Some live streams get very active, a lot of comments, and then you watch the replay and there's no comments. Makes it look like nobody talks. But thanks for the handful of you that have been watching today. Hopefully I can do another one. Like I say, the time has been kind of tough lately, but trying to find the things I want to do. So definitely do check out the websites, avoidingchores.com, the website. There are some blog posts that are on there that don't show up in video form. There's also the focus site, the gps.training. That's the other thing. You can also check out, I queued up a bunch of articles to get published this week. So if you're on the Facebook or on the Twitter, you'll be able to see that. And Instagram, I'm low-key for now until I get out and find something to take a picture of. So, all right, we'll stop this for now. Thanks a lot, folks, for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. And I'll do this very awkward trying to end this video. And I'll be tapping the screen like 3 times.